Good evening, everybody. This is Nicholas the Impressionist here, and on today's video, I thought we could talk about my top 5 favorite Pixar movies. Before we begin, I just want to say that I'm only covering Pixar, so nothing from Disney yet, nothing from Disney Toon Studios or any other company that bought Disney, so yeah. So without further ado, let's begin my top 5 favorite Pixar movies, starting with number 5. WALL-E. WALL-E is just this masterpiece. Like, what would happen if humans had to leave Earth and robots were made to clean up the garbage that was left on there? Well, this is where WALL-E comes in. After years of being alone by himself, WALL-E somehow grew a conscience and he became self-aware. And so he collects all these things on Earth because he's fascinated with the human world. He collects all these things and puts them in a collection, which I personally like. So yeah, WALL-E's number 5 because it's just this really great masterpiece. And come on, we can all agree that robot love is definitely the greatest. So yeah. Number 4, Ratatouille. Ratatouille is one of the Brad Bird films. It seems that some people don't really remember Ratatouille. People remember Iron Giant and The Incredibles, but not Ratatouille. Well, Ratatouille for me, when I was younger, when I first watched it, I was like, okay, it was funny but a little weird. But I'm older, like this is a masterpiece. And I just really like the scene where Anton Ego talks about how if a food critic works and that anyone could cook, even if you're a rat that is somehow able to sniff out poison food. So yeah, number 3, Inside Out. Inside Out is number 3. It is another film directed by Pete Docter, which he's one of my favorite directors because he did direct some of my favorite Pixar films. Inside Out is just about this girl named Riley and guided by her 5 emotions: joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust. It's like her adjusting to her new life in San Francisco, and mostly you see how joy and sadness tried to like start something, because joy tries to like cheer sadness up and make her, but at the same time joy doesn't really want sadness around Riley because she feels like Riley doesn't need sadness. But over the course of the film they realize sadness is an important part. And this was really an emotional roller coaster. Get it? Because it's emotion. Yeah. So Inside Out is right there. Number 2, Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo was actually the first Pixar film I ever saw. I watched it at home when I was little. And this film, man, the opening is sad, but as it goes through, you have to learn that if you're a parent, you gotta let your kids who they want to be. Can't always overprotect them forever. They need to learn how to protect themselves. And that's what Marlin learned in the film about taking care of Nemo, so that's what he does. And finally, coming in on number 1 is my favorite Pixar animated film of all time, Up. So Up is definitely number 1. What gets me about Up, I just really like the relationship between Carl and Russell. To Carl, Russell is kind of like the son or grandson he's never had before. I just like their compassion to each other, and how at first Carl was annoyed by Russell and all his antics, but he soon grew to love Russell as his own grandson, and he acts kind of almost as a father figure to him. When he went to his senior explorer badge promotion, he even went to get ice cream with him that Russell and his dad did. Why I love all these films so much is that they're all in this one, period. Because just like from WALL-E, Carl experiences being all alone, but then he finally meets Russell, Kevin, and Doug, and he soon embraces a new life and all that. So there you have it. That is my top 5 favorite Pixar films. Let me know in the comment below what are your favorite top 5, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.